She said kinda love affair.
Is love in the air, or is your relationship on the verge of destruction? Let's talk about it. Sit back,
Relax.
and enjoy your favorite cocktail as we discuss relationships, dating,
Sex.
and love. Love on the rocks, that is.
Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks. Love on the rocks.
Well, hello everyone, and
Hi.
welcome to Love on the Rocks. Hey, it's Raj and Meg, doing it again.
Doing it again.
Another show, another episode. But hey, guess what? We are on an hour earlier than normal.
Finally.
Finally, yes, we can get
Yeah.
those early birds to watch our show. You know.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm so glad it's at 9 o'clock.
Yep. 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. It is Love on the Rocks.
And this is our permanent time slot. We've switched
forward.
over. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We definitely have. So.
Sweet.
Yep. And so we are definitely going to be talking about a very interesting topic. I think we touched this like in the beginning episodes.
I think we did too.
Yeah. So, but it's kind of revamping it a little bit, going a little more detailed because technology has definitely changed since. the
Well,
beginning of our
that and
show.
we've got new views and different,
True.
times
Absolutely.
passed, and
Yeah.
so it's good to
So-
retouch it.
Yep. So our topic today is the evolution of courtship from traditional dating to digital love. And I'm not talking
has
about
it changed?
yes, and I'm not talking about one of those AI people that you fall in love with.
And not the prince from Dubai that is waiting to be your sugar daddy or send you $10,000 to a lost cousin. Not that either.
Well, but Crystal's looking to be a sugar mama.
Well, I was about to say,
Yeah, get closer to the
That's
microphone,
news.
Crystal.
I don't think I have all the requirements to be a sugar mama.
No.
But you're so sweet.
and beautiful.
Oh, Lydia.
Snaps for Crystal.
So
That just made me think real quick before we get started, Lydia, that just made me think, have y'all, and I just discovered this today, Crystal, you might know, but have y'all have heard about the cacawing thing at Aldi?
Cacaw.
Has anybody
What?
else heard
No.
of this?
no, what is
Crystal,
it?
you haven't either?
No.
I
What
never
are you talking
have.
about?
But apparently when you go to Aldi, there's a couple things that people do. Apparently there's like this aisle of shame is what it's called.
Oh yeah, it's all the
And when you
dumb
find a
stuff.
really good deal, you're supposed to cacaw it, like
Cacaw.
cacaw, and whoever they cacaw back, and it's your way of letting people in the store that are like super fans that there's a great deal.
Or somebody's just trying to make a fool out of you the next time you're in Aldi.
I've never been at Aldi, but I'm gonna go just to cacaw.
Oh, Aldi
just
is
to
great.
See what I attract.
I do love Aldi.
Make sure to bring a quarter.
Yeah.
Yes, because you
Yes.
can't get a cart without a quarter.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. But yeah,
Okay.
we've got a good topic tonight.
Yeah, so we are talking about love in the digital world, as well as, well, love's just not dating today is not what it used to be back in the day.
This is true. We're talking about the evolution of courtship.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how it's changed, especially due to,
Technology.
new age dating and digital love.
Mhm.
I don't know. Do you guys have any experience with dating apps or dating online?
Failed.
I
Yeah,
met
right.
my
Failed.
Why
first
don't you
boyfriend
tell
on
us?
MySpace.
Wait, Lydia.
I know. I just said it. I did.
MySpace. I would give anything for MySpace.
I met my
to come
first
back.
boyfriend on MySpace.
If you
Damn.
were in my number one spot
MySpace.
for
That's
my top
old.
8,
I was a senior in
good.
high school.
yeah, Tom, and we thought Tom was.
You know what?
Like,
We did not give Tom the respect that
we
he
did
deserved.
not. We
He
did
gave
not.
us a top
Agree.
8, and he didn't even
we
put
took
himself
advantage
in
of it.
there.
No,
No, he wasn't. He was in our top 8.
But he didn't.
No,
he didn't
but
make.
he
himself
allowed us
stay
to
there.
take it. Yeah, like he allowed
He
us to
let us
change it.
choose.
Yeah,
We all
We
knew how to
never-
code.
Oh yeah, we were all experts.
we
at
had
HTML.
music. We could exactly.
We
And
were
the little
ruthless with our
fonts
top 8.
and the quotes and the little.
Oh my god, the
glitter.
little like girl figures with the bell
Yes,
bottoms.
yes, yes. You could always look
Sorry.
at somebody's MySpace profile and tell
Yep.
if they were talking to someone, because if they were, there were always cute
Number
little
one.
quotes or the little
Yes.
female emoji things with the heart.
Or when you were
And then-
sad, it was the song quote.
It was the song. And the movement of the top 8.
not
At 17, you're staying out of my top 8. Yep. I missed that.
knew like your friend was mad at you.
That's how
Like,
you knew.
you got knocked down.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
But
go
we
to your
got up
friend's
again.
MySpace and you notice you weren't in that number one
What was your
spot, or-
song on your profile?
I had
Oh,
everything,
it changed like
dude.
weekly,
Yeah.
If
changed
not
it all
every
the time.
day.
right?
It was my mood. Like if I had a good day at school and you didn't tick me off, it might be like Tupac or 3 6 Mafia or something. Or then it might be Oasis, Wonderwall, or you never know.
And then you
never-
had like 10 AIM chats going on that were popping up all over the
age, sex,
place.
location.
ASL,
ASL, yes.
dating. Oh man,
That's how
Oh.
dating was back in the day.
Yeah.
Honestly, looking back now, you realize how many pedophiles there are on the internet.
So many.
Because I would write,
Yeah.
I was 13 female Buffalo, ding 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 ding.
And looking
Because
back, like, how many
anybody
people-
could instant message you at that point.
Yep.
Right.
You know, so looking back, yeah, I am lucky to be alive.
It's crazy how much freedom Tom
Right?
gave us, and we
Took advantage
Taken
of
for
it.
granted. and
what
look-
happened to us. Look at us.
Yes.
Look how our
This is
generation.
proper
Look at
society.
us and our dating world.
Used to
And
be
now
able
we
to
have
drink
now-
our friends.
We
right.
have Facebook dating.
Yeah, there is.
And
Facebook.
OnlyFans.
It's evolved.
Oh, you have an
Yeah.
OnlyFans?
I don't have an OnlyFans. I'm saying OnlyFans is.
I'm not
out
sure
there.
that really has anything to do with dating.
No, I'm just saying how I'm saying, like, now we have like Facebook and Bumble and Tinder and OnlyFans.
I only have
and
a fan.
I got 2, but those are the only fans I've got. Go. You don't need to hear this. Go.
So, okay, as far as the dating apps go, I can't say that I have an experience with them. I tried one once. It was a very short experiment. I was like, nope, we're done here. It's just like, however, Forbes did rate the top apps, or the apps with the highest success rate as far as finding a serious relationship. What would you guess number 1 would be?
Bumble?
Farmers only.
Of course, Megan, you would say that.
Unfortunately, Farmers Only-
ChristianMingle.com.
I was just going to say Christian Mingle.
Actually, Roger was right. It's Bumble.
Is it Bumble?
Because
It
the
is
girls get to pick the guy.
So is it still like that? Like the girls have to be the first to communicate with the guys? Is it that concept still? Because that's how I like
Can't
when
tell
it
you.
first came out. That's how, Roger, tell us. Is that the concept of
Oh,
it?
you come to me like I'm a pro here.
Well, you're a man on Bumble. Is that how it works? Like
You're
said-
assuming I'm on Bumble.
I'm
Yeah.
asking. Roger, you do
yeah, so
speed dates.
basic.
You're on Bumble.
So yes, the girl you could swipe, and then if she likes you, she has to be the first to comment to you.
Okay. And Crystal, that's the number one most
That's the number 1 dating
successful.
app according to Forbes, as far as the most successful serious relationships that result from meeting
Okay.
on that app. Now, number 2 surprised me because,
What?
again, I don't do the dating app thing. So I thought it was a different kind of dating app. As far as getting a serious relationship out of it, I don't know. But number 2 was actually Tinder.
Really?
Yes.
That's like the hookup app.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But
And
apparently-
fake profiles. And tons of fake profiles. So I stay off of that thing.
I don't know. I
Tinder?
feel like that's almost sort of not misleading, but like, yeah, don't just take that little bit of, data with a grain of salt. This is Forbes saying this, so don't go on Tinder thinking that you're going to end up with a serious relationship. You
Because
don't go to
chances
Tinder.
are you're not.
Yeah.
No.
Go on Tinder, change your area to Paris, and get yourself an Olympian.
Well, people
There
go
you
on
go.
travel mode. So
There you go.
so they'll go, like, you'll have somebody in the Philippines be like, "Oh, I'm in
Nebraska.
I'll be like, I'm in downtown," and you go, "Okay, every city has a downtown. Where in downtown? What areas are you by?"
The
And they'll
river.
say, yeah, right.
The
And it's like, they would say this, so you got to ask these questions in a way to find out if they're really local or not. And that's just how crazy it is. People will use
Really?
travel. Yeah. People will use travel mode or type in a city they want to be in, but they're not really there.
I didn't know you could do that. I'm not on any of the apps. I didn't know you could search cities, or unless you were like your location.
I could say I could change my location and boom, I could go into these couple different cities and talk to people, and it's supposedly designed for people that are like maybe moving to a certain area, they're looking to make some friends or whatever, or so be it. But I say friends very loosely.
Now, okay, I do not have any personal experience with Tinder. However, every one of my girlfriends who has had experience with Tinder, it's been traumatic. So
yeah.
Yeah,
again,
I agree with that on that one. Yeah.
just be careful.
I
Number
could.
3, coffee meets bagel. I never heard of that one.
I have.
What?
But I'm not on
Really?
it.
That
I've
seems like
never
something
heard of
you
that
would be
one.
for your meet and greets.
I know. That's like should be your number one, Roger. Bagels and coffee?
Coffee meets
Or
bagel.
coffee meets bagel?
Coffee
Yeah.
meets bagel.
That's a good name for an app, though.
Just a
Yeah.
smear of cream cheese.
Number 4.
That ain't cream cheese.
Number 4 was Hinge. So I think that's like a relatively new one. I don't know anybody that's used that. But number 5 is actually
Grindr.
Facebook dating.
Oh,
Is what?
Facebook dating, really?
Facebook dating is number 5. Yeah, so social media is kind of towing the line between dating app and social media as far as when we're trying to figure out, like, okay, half of the country is meeting online. Like, that's for real. Nowadays, more people meet online than they do in person. I mean, obviously,
Right.
once they talk online, then they, go meet in person. But which I didn't want to believe. I was like, no, people. No, but it's true. Now, as far as where they meet online, that kind of divvies up the numbers a little bit, because it goes from like 50% meeting online to 40% meeting on the apps. Now, if you take into consideration social media as a dating app, well, then that number climbs even higher. So, and social media is actually the number 4 way people meet.
Is Craigslist classifieds on that list?
Craigslist classifieds.
misconnections.
Misconnections. That's
Remember
what
that?
I'm thinking of.
They got rid of that. They don't
Did
have that
they?
anymore.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
long
man.
time ago. Long time ago.
Is
Okay.
Craigslist even still around?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't
think
know, it just
Facebook
made me think of
Marketplace
that.
absorbed that too.
I don't think there's anything you can't do on Facebook then.
Facebook's just getting in everybody's businesses.
I've not heard
Yeah.
much on the Facebook dating though. Like not many of my friends or anything that I know personally on there.
I don't know anybody on there, at least that I can think of off the top of my head. So
Right. Yeah.
You can still use Craigslist, and it has an app that has a rating of 4.6.
Oh shit, they're coming back. Take note, Roger.
But I'm sure after the Craigslist killer, many women are wary of finding someone on Craigslist.
Craigslist killer.
Yeah, it was a lot. It
many
was a real
area
thing.
finding a man anywhere.
Fact.
I feel like Craigslist is probably like one of the safest place these days. to
Oh
meet
God,
somebody.
no. Oh
Yeah.
no.
But you figure a lot of people don't think about it. So
Right. Exactly. Most people are going to go for Tinder or Hinged or Bumble or Facebook dating. They're not going to think
The ones that you're going to find on Craigslist connections are going to be the hookers and
OGs.
prostitutes.
They're going to be the OGs.
No, the hookers and prostitutes that are using.
That's OnlyFans.
That's why I got no.
People on OnlyFans show their buttholes, Roger.
Okay, but that's not a.
For a very good reason.
I can't
That's not a
argue that.
dating thing. That's just somebody making money.
I thought it was a
showing
dating
things.
site.
No, it's not.
It's not.
Oh, it's not. It's like a Pinterest for porn.
It's like paid porn
And
like
for
Pinterest.
or
reference,
amateur porn.
not everything on OnlyFans is porn.
See, that's what I'm wondering. I've heard
You
that
can have-
too.
Okay, so obviously I do cosplays.
Right.
I could start an OnlyFans of just different cosplays.
That's what I've heard too. Okay.
There's, it's just like, Patreon. So like essentially we could take this podcast and put it on Patreon, and we have different tiers of content in which people would pay for. It's the same exact thing on OnlyFans.
Okay.
You have a certain content which is played to a niche. People are looking for that certain thing, and they're willing to pay for it.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Not a dating app.
Okay. All right. Who else is on the list, Crystal?
Well, number 6 after Facebook dating is an app called Happen, Happn.
HAPP what?
N.
And
Happen.
Oh,
Never
is it
heard
like
that one.
happening?
Happening.
Happen, like make it happen.
Oh.
This just happened.
Right. Number 7 was Plenty of Fish. So those
That's
are your-
still around?
I guess so. It wrapped up the top 7. So
well, Plenty of Fish is on MTV on that Nev
Ooh.
show, and they're always talking
Catfish.
and they're always talking about Plenty of Fish. So as long as they keep talking about Plenty of Fish, it's going to stay around.
Can I just say, how is that show still on? Like, how are people still getting catfished?
Same.
Like, if you're telling me for months that your camera is still broken and
Right.
you can't, like,
right.
you know what? I don't feel sorry for you.
Mm-mm.
No.
But I do just want to correct something that I said earlier in the show.
Okay.
Craigslist still does have misconnections.
Shut up. Do they?
They do.
Oh, shit.
Megan's logging on after the show.
I missed the post that's like, I was in the grocery store
Yeah.
on Wednesday at the bread aisle and
And
I
you crop
dropped.
dusted me.
Yeah. Yeah. If you happen to be reading this, please reach out.
Because they're going through going, I wonder if that girl is on misconnections. Because I totally
There were
wanted to
some
meet her.
interesting ads on misconnections. That was it's humorous. It's almost as humorous as like any other dating site and what's on there.
So are you guys ready for some more nerdy data?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm gonna make you guess, like usual. So I already told you guys, most couples between like 40 to 50% are meeting through apps and websites. That number changes depending on how you divvy it up. If you're talking just apps, social media, all that jazz. But what is the number 2 way people are meeting?
Bars.
Yeah,
Church.
Church.
Work.
Friends,
Oh.
Oh,
Hmm.
like
Duh.
school friends. So
So now you have to have friends.
yeah, now you have to have
To
friends,
get a
but
lover.
this is
also
stupid.
kind of shows you like the importance of picking good friends.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Whatever happened to just meeting somebody in the produce section?
Instacart, Grubhub, DoorDash. That took all that. They get everybody in the produce now.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well-
whatever, what happened to being pinned? Like back in the 50s, like a guy with the Letterman jacket, and he would pin his girl, and that's how everybody knew they were together.
yeah.
Like, you talk about
Or they would wear the
evolution of courtship.
now I think the
their
equivalent
jock's
of that is
jacket.
posting
in a
your
relationship.
significant other,
It's not
Like-
true if it's not Facebook official.
or just like
That's
posting
true.
a picture with them and like
Yep.
changing the status. Like that's the new
Hmm.
pinning, or like the new like
Yeah.
what do they used to call it?
Going steady.
Yeah, the new Cohen study. The defining the relationship moment.
I just watched
Yeah.
Grease, so I'm all about it right now.
Oh, I love that
Love it.
movie.
Yeah, so-
Letterman jacket. The girls would
Yes.
always wear the guy's Letterman jacket.
or
They
they
get
would
the
get
class
their class
ring.
ring.
Yes, the class ring.
I wish
Mhm.
I still had my class ring.
Mine's in the ocean.
Yeah, mine's lost to the abyss somewhere. I think I
I
lost
never
my
had
fire.
one.
No. I got like the cheapest of the cheapest because my mom was like, this is stupid. I don't want to pay $300, $400 for it. And I just wanted one with my high school. I didn't even put my own birthstone in it. I put his birthstone in it. And
His?
it was,
Ew.
it was the
Ew.
dumbest thing. Young love.
I just
Young
picked
love.
it by color. I'm like, I like the pretty blue one. But yeah, so now I guess posting to social media and changing your social media status is the equivalent of like pinning or some, other sort of courtship rituals. Now, we are talking about how courtship has changed, and it has changed dramatically. Lydia, you were just talking about in the 50s, like how much it has changed since then,
Mhm.
but you can go back even further.
What medieval times.
Well, what's super popular now that everybody's watching? Bridgerton. You want to talk about like the Edwardian period and dating back then? Like men and women could not be in the same room as each other
Right.
without a chaperone. You were allowed to like promenade, but your chaperone had to be with you. And like as a woman, if you were found in a room with a man unchaperoned, you were basically,
The Scarlet Letter.
yeah, you were ruined. Could never marry well anyway.
Now women have about 4 or 5 guys in the room at the same time.
In their room.
Yeah.
Good.
Or vice versa.
Well, numbers do say that actually of the adults dating right now, 34% are women and 63% are men. So the numbers are not in the guy's favor. However, of that 63%, only half of those guys are actually serious about finding a relationship, and not just situationships or
I wouldn't even give them that much credit.
like that.
I wouldn't even
So
say half.
it ends up being about even. But unfortunately, I mean, I don't want to, but numbers.
I just feel
so
like that-
unfortunately, then for women, that means for every good guy you want to find, you're probably gonna find a fuckboy first.
Exactly. Yeah. It means women are getting way more like tired of dealing with men's shit too.
Well,
It goes both ways.
Yeah.
No, but y'all are more, there's more of y'all looking for us than we're looking for y'all.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Yeah, because like any girl could go, hey guys, and then boom, there's 12 guys standing around her gawking
No, it's
at her.
because guys are never satisfied and they've always got to one up and have you won't win this one.
Well, actually,
No.
So I will share these articles with you guys. I wanted to share them before the show, but I'm like, I don't want to ruin the surprise. They're showing that we're evolving in dating, and women are evolving differently than men. As we have reached an age where we are experiencing more rights, our need for a man isn't as high.
No, because you go for women now, and that's more acceptable.
Well, no, it's not that. But when you think about the fact that as a woman, you couldn't even open a checking account until 1977. Like, so my mother did not grow up in the same way that I did. She grew up thinking she would have to depend on a man. You couldn't own a house as a woman until 79, 80.
Right.
Whereas like I grew up with a different mindset, thinking I could do all of those things. Whereas, like I said, like my mom, not so much. So when we say like, oh, relationships aren't the same, we need to go back to old ways. Well, grandma stayed with grandpa because she couldn't buy a house. She couldn't get a checking account. She couldn't get a job. She could have been discriminated against as a woman with children, housing in the job market, because it was all legal to do. Mm-hmm. So it's not just that women are just scorning men. It's that women are evolving a little differently and men are kind of stuck for a smidge. Like, so rather than working on, it actually studies show friendships. If men developed more friendships with both men and women, it doesn't say what, that seems to show the biggest reason for their lack of relationships in general, and that they're becoming less and less social. So that also plays a role in it. But yeah, there's more you guys looking for us than us looking for you. Sorry, Raj.
Yeah.
Well, I got 3 beautiful women right here, so
I had to like
Aw.
info dump on you guys for a second. Sorry about that. But and too, so we're talking courtship, and it's important to note what exactly courtship is when we're talking about these numbers. So it's like the very early stages. It's like we haven't defined as boyfriend, girlfriend.
An item, yeah.
Yeah. So we're just talking about that little window of time, which for a lot of people, most relationships is like 3 months.
the new norm is we have no title. We're just, we don't have a title. It is what it is, and what happens happens. What
If the
doesn't
person
happen.
is serious about you and really
Yeah.
wants something, there's a title.
Yeah, but you'll find a lot more that people are just like, let's not put a title on this.
That's because they're shitty.
Okay, I don't have data on this, but I hate that.
They're
Right?
shitty. They're shitty.
Yeah.
Never again. Those are called situationships.
Yes.
And I've just kind of reached a point where I'm like, I'm so done with that. Like, define it or move on so somebody else can. Because
Right.
like,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not
But
trying.
that courtship is when that person is specifically trying to win you over. What are they doing to get you in their top 8?
Yes. See, and that's where the problem is. That's why, where I'm saying like women are evolving and men are not. It's in that courtship like time. In other words, don't introduce me to a vibe you cannot maintain.
That was heaven. Yes. Amen.
So, and it's just natural to want to impress somebody that you are interested in dating or that you find physically attractive. Like, but at the end of the day, you need to be yourself, because you can only lie for so long. That's come up on the show a couple of times. Like you can only, hide stuff for so long. You can only pretend to be somebody else for so long before eventually.
They say 6 months. Give a person
Before
6
Nev
months.
comes out with a camera.
Yes. Yes.
The truth comes out in 6
Yeah,
months.
Neve. Yeah. Give a person 6 months, and in that time period, their true colors will display, and you will then begin to learn who that person really is.
And I think the importance of looking at somebody's actions as opposed to their words,
right,
is huge. Like, I can't tell you how many guys have been like, "Oh, let's do this, let's do that," and then they fall off the face of the planet, never plan anything. It's the last I freaking hear of it. So, yeah, like effort. We need some effort. Effort.
And I think that's changed in courtship today.
Yeah.
The effort's just not the same like it was even when we were in high school and we were on MySpace, like, or in the 70s, or, when people did the pinning, like there was effort. And I think today's society and today's dating world, there's just not, and even as far as like friendships, there's just not effort like there used to be.
And let me add to this. Dating today, people are not as serious. They date as a hobby, and I'm convinced that's what it is now. I think people are just dating as a hobby, not to really be in a relationship, because I feel like dating as a hobby is more of a safe zone for people, and instead of really getting to have that person in their life and grow with somebody, and what happened to all that? What happened to the traditional love and and the you totally falling in love with somebody and having the butterflies and all that stuff? It just doesn't seem like that. To what?
The butterflies are dangerous.
I think that people today are more career orientated.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're focusing more on their careers, especially earlier on than say in the olden days. Like I feel like back then you would just get a job and you're like, I have this job to support my family. But now people are going out there with certain intentions and working their way through that and kind of trying to work their way up.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at it as, oh, if I'm being in a relationship that's taking too much of my time, I can't focus on these things. Because, now everything we need is in our hand and, like in our phone. So people are now answering work emails when they're not in the office. They're taking work calls when they're not in the office. It used to be you did your 9 to 5. That was it. 5 o'clock, you were out, you were home, you were family. Now you don't have, you're just strict 9 to 5. It's like you're working all the time, depending on the job, I will say.
Right. Well, that screen time is also a big reason why a lot of people are just like, man, I'm not going to get serious about dating, or I'm going to casually date, because they have
there's always somebody better to swipe on.
Well, yeah, they have a substitute for intimate connection online. Like they can go to an OnlyFans. They can, like chat someone right there. It's not real. I mean,
well, now they have an AI where you can have an AI girlfriend or boyfriend who's not real, but they will actually listen to you and talk to you and very virtual. And people are into that. People
that's really scary.
No, but I'm serious.
Well,
I'm serious too.
Look at your Snapchat. Who's the very first conversation on
the
everyone's
AI.
Snapchat? And you can't get rid of it unless you pay for the next level or whatever.
I'm sorry, but artificial intelligence was supposed to do the not fun stuff, like do my dishes, mow my lawn. Like I want to paint and make music all day. AI should not be doing that kind of stuff.
And can I just say, for the record, like the butterfly feeling is common sense leaving your body. It is not anything to write home to mama about.
Cheers.
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 It's stress. I'm not a fan of the dating world and the courtship and what it's become. It's become so, it's just fucking disgusting.
It's not romantic anymore.
It's not romantic.
It feels like generic.
Right.
I feel like asking for the teeniest, tiniest bit of effort is too much.
Right.
I mean, like by asking for effort, like just text me.
Just be a decent fucking human being, please.
Me, like plan something. I don't send me memes. I don't care. Like, by the way, memes are a love language, and which
yes.
All right, I'm gonna hit you up, girl.
100%.
Although I will say the memes I have saved on my phone are very dark humor, so I warn you.
I love dark humor.
It's really bad. You're gonna be like, I can't talk to her anymore.
I would never, Lydia. I would never. But yeah, I don't know. I just personally, when it comes to dating in that early courtship stage, like I want just give me some effort. It's like there's no effort, or they introduce me to an effort that they can't maintain.
Right.
Like they say a lot of things and lots of pretty words, and then down the line, it doesn't pan out quite.
Yeah.
As you said.
Or what if you're out on a date with somebody and they're just lost in their, speaking of screen time, their phones?
Oh yeah, that's a red flag.
That's not gonna go good.
No, because you'll find that a lot. It's like you're sitting there and they go, "Oh, my kid's texting me." Sorry about that. I'm not trying to be rude.
Well, no, I'll be the first person if I'm on a date or not. If my kids text me, I don't give a shit who you are, where I'm at, what I'm doing. I'm going to respond to my kids. That's totally different than being on your phone, Facebooking it, or whatever. That's totally different.
Some people will make that up and say that they're texting their kid when they're actually not, just to kind of make it.
People will make up and say they're texting anybody if they want to.
Yeah. True. But you'll sit there and talk to somebody and they'll just like all of a sudden pull their phone out and just sit there and do the and you're like trying to get to know somebody and they're like lost in this.
Right. I don't think that's going to go away though.
No.
Well, here's my thing. Like if I'm finding myself like wanting to continuously reach for my phone rather than being engaged in conversation with that person,
I don't need to be on that date.
Then maybe, and there's nothing wrong with just not connecting. Like it happens. Like not everybody's meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Just be open and honest about it.
Right. And like it saves a lot of hurt feelings.
Especially down the road.
Yeah. That's the other thing I've encountered is people just not being honest about what they want. Mostly because they just want no strings attached and like string you along. Like there's just way too much of that, I feel like.
Yeah. They have too many options. They don't want to just I'm just
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not a
when
fan of
you
dating.
know that you can go on, how many are there dating apps now?
Right.
Oh, okay, you know, like she's a 7.
all at their
I could
fingertips.
find an 8. I
Yeah.
could find a 9.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know,
Well, and I don't know if you guys remember talking about that whole 3-month rule thing
Mhm.
before that some people are doing. Like, yeah, oh, you can find a 7, you can find a 9, but what if the 9 has such a crappy personality, you can't stand to be around them? So 3-month rule, check back in.
Yes.
But that's the common thing now is, yeah, people are just like, okay, another, rather than kind of just deciding like to choose that other person and
Right.
work on that relationship. I don't know.
Right.
So besides dating apps, what is the new norm of meeting people? I know you talked about, through
Friends was number
friends.
Now, depending on which study you look at, because I looked at 2 really good studies, but they broke it down into different categories, but they kind of fell along the same thing. So both had friends as number 2, apps and online was number 1. Friends was number 2. One study had concerts and festivals as number 3, which I can absolutely see because I know
I can
many
attest to that.
couples, so many couples that met at concerts. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it seems like a good place to meet somebody if
Yeah.
you like going to concerts. So
but it's so
100%.
loud.
It is, but I just feel like the people you
sometimes
meet at
that's
a
a blessing.
concert are just like, I don't know. That
Well, you're drinking, you're kind of relaxed. Well, not really relaxed, but you've got
you don't even necessarily have to be drinking, just being in the vibe and the music. And there's somebody there that obviously has a big, you have a common denominator of interest being the music. And it's just such a fun place to meet somebody. Not that everybody you meet at a concert is great, because Lord knows you have your bunch, but I think it's a really good place. I think it's fun.
I know a lot of couples that have been together for quite
Yeah.
some time that all met at concerts.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. So at least amongst people I know, that tends to go very well.
Yeah.
That same study said social media was number 4. So things like Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff came in number 4. Now the other study that said friends was number 2 had school or work as number 3. Personally, I would say don't date where you work.
Don't exactly.
no.
Just bad
Especially if you work from home.
Exactly.
idea. That's why everybody's single.
Sorry. Well, incest
And
joke.
that study had the bar as number 4. So one study had bars as number 4. However, a couple different studies did say though, at like the older that we get, the less we are actually meeting people like out socially. Like you're not going to meet your partner out at a bar. Actually, that those numbers go higher as far as like dating apps. The older you get, the more success you have on dating apps as opposed to meeting somebody in a real life situation.
Because people don't, when you're older, and you're ancient like me, we don't get out like everybody else does. And, we find, and as we're older, we have more flaws, and people don't look past the flaw. They don't look beyond the flaws. Once you hit the flaws, because
You can't wear a filter in real life.
no, you can't.
Mm-mm.
People
If
are
your
like,
makeup artist is good, you can.
You can bingo.
That is true.
I'm kidding. It's
but
fine.
even with my generation, it's like you have to realize that you're not going to get the perfect Barbie doll girl or Ken, and we're all going to have I have a dad bod, okay, whatever, so be it. It's just because that just happens as you get older, And
Mhm.
so, you have to look past that with somebody.
I think
you
that
know?
comes with maturity and people and their expectations. Like if
Mhm.
somebody even at a mature age, they're past the flaws. Like they get it. They understand their expectations. They're not expecting a box Barbie.
Another non-data point on this. I do feel though that the cards are unfairly stacked as far as expectations, because I feel like women have to meet a lot more physical expectations for men and
Yes.
have that image of perfection, whereas men, like, I'm sorry, dad bods are popular. When are mom bods gonna be popular?
I'm rocking it.
Anybody?
I'm rocking it.
No.
The bigger
Yeah.
fupa, the better the chalupa.
Ooh.
I love it. But
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
have to
feel
remember
like
that.
guys could be like, oh, she's got to be like super skinny, big boobs, big butt, like long hair, natural, but have, X amount of like this feature, this, that, and the other. And if a girl's like, I want a guy who's taller than me, it's like, oh, well, they can't control that. Like, how? That's not
Right.
fair.
You're asking too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But men want build a bitch.
Yes. Yes. That's why there are more men looking for women than there are women looking for men, because they're never fucking satisfied.
I don't know. I distinctly remember an episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch where she built the perfect boyfriend out of dough.
She did. I know exactly what
that.
you're talking about. Yes, she did.
That was a great episode.
Yes, she did.
I have to find that later and watch it.
You never saw?
Give me,
Oh, it's a
like-
good episode.
I've seen it. I remember
Oh,
it.
yep.
Now I want to
Zach
rewatch it.
Morris with like
Saved by the Bell.
Maverick. Yeah, but like Zach Morris, Maverick, and Matt Bonner.
Oh, what she made. Okay.
No, but like the
She's
mix
building
of,
her own right now.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
building my own.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Zach
you're like into the
Morris,
Zach
Maverick,
Morris type, huh?
Zach Morris, Maverick. From
I want the
Top Gun,
personality
Maverick.
of Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. Yes. Or Mike Epps. I love Mike Epps.
Ryan Reynolds is so like universally loved.
Yeah.
And let me just he's great in the latest Deadpool.
I thought you were
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say
I know.
great in
I
bed.
was like,
No.
what do you know that we don't?
My
You're
mind
fine.
wanted to go there, but no, in the Deadpool, I just went and saw that.
I
He's
saw
really
it
good.
too.
Yeah,
Really
he's
good.
really good. He's a great. He is one of like the perfect structured human beings.
And
I
even
love,
when you see him around with him and Blake, like
Yes.
I love the relationship.
Yes,
if
they're
they
so
ever
real.
divorce, I don't know what I will do.
They
They better
complement
not.
each
I'm
other very
rooting for him. Yeah, yeah.
So
He courted her well.
he put in some effort. I am
He
sure.
put in some effort. Yeah,
That is a top-notch lady there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Did you notice on the red carpet for Deadpool and
Deadpool
Wolverine?
and Avenge in the yeah.
Wolverine.
Her purse was
Wolverine.
a ball and chain.
Yes, yes. Did you see that, Crystal or Roger?
I did
Anybody
No,
not
else?
I didn't.
Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh, it
didn't
was
go that
killer. It was killer.
I love her.
So she's just as funny as Ryan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, and do you think though? All right, let me ask you guys this question, because this is where a lot of numbers differ. Would you sacrifice how physically attracted you are to a potential boyfriend or girlfriend for that great personality? Which one would you choose?
Mhm.
Wait, what?
Like, would you sacrifice being physically attracted to that potential boyfriend or girlfriend to ensure that they had a good personality? Like, if you had to choose personality or looks.
Yeah, personality, 100%.
I think
I
the more
agree.
you are attracted to the personality, you will
But there
be
has to be
attracted
exactly
to the person,
physically.
even if in the traditional way people don't see them as that, you will.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think you'll find physical attraction once you are attracted to them emotionally and mentally.
Right. But
Men-
I don't care. Me and Crystal were talking about this the other day. I don't care what anybody says. If you meet somebody, right off the rip, there's got to be some sort of a physical attraction.
Nobody's just going to read a stop sign and have the other person be like, oh my God, I love the way you said that. There has to be a physical attraction to some degree in that person. There's got to be.
Now, I do think like the longer you or the more you get to know somebody, obviously, like the more attracted to them you can become. But
Exactly.
I think that that's so important. And it's
Yes.
always with the wrong people.
Every time.
Well, we talk about like the evolution of relationships. Look back at when marriages were arranged all the time.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You had no choice on what they look like or their personality. But you know, most people grew to love each other in those relationships.
Or they just did a job.
Facts.
But I was going to say, I forgot what I was going to say. It was something about those numbers, but before we got to arranged marriages. But yeah, so I don't know. The effort needs to be there. Friendship needs to be there. But that, I don't know. That instant, not that instant attraction, but that
Zazazoo.
Yeah.
As Carrie Bradshaw put it.
Yes.
Yes.
It's real. Because, I mean, it's not that a relationship can't work. It's, I don't know, just not maybe.
Yeah.
It's got to be there. I think it could grow. Don't get me wrong. But some people might not need it from the get-go. They may be able to find it down the road and still have it be a successful relationship. I don't know. Me personally, like, I need it.
Right. Yeah.
So whatever happened to the day when our grandparents were in love? And that's when I think love wasn't complicated.
No, I think
it was complicated, but it was behind closed doors.
It was behind closed doors, and they actually fucking fought for what they wanted and believed in.
Well, and Grandma couldn't leave.
Yeah, well, yeah, Grandma couldn't leave.
And Grandma didn't have any money. And Grandma
because in Grandma's days, it was you were a homemaker. That was your livelihood. You were a homemaker.
My Nana and Papa were married for 50 years and had 10 children.
See, that's amazing.
It's a lot of kids.
That is amazing.
I don't know how she did it.
One of my biggest things, I love asking my older patients who I know have been married for X amount of time, like, what is the secret? What have y'all done? Like, what makes it to where y'all have made it work? I love, love, love hearing what they have to say. 9 times out of 10, it's communication. It's a drink a day. I get that a lot. Communication and always laughing, making sure you always laugh. And it just really makes you think, like, these dudes now, and so many females too, there's so many options at their fingertips. The first thing that goes wrong, they jump ship because they think, oh, well,
that is true.
I'll just go back on Tinder or back on Hinge or Bumble or whatever, and I'll meet somebody even tonight that might agree with my point of view on whatever, or might, see me doing this as being okay. There's too much opportunity out there. Whereas back in Grandma's days, you worked through it, right? Like leaving wasn't an option, not only for your family, but the families of each other. Like, there was no leaving. You had to fight through it.
So something,
and if you left, the whole town would look down on you.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the families and the town, it would be so frowned upon. That's just not.
I can't believe Gertrude did that.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So something that came up when I was looking at all the different studies on courtship in that courtship time was that almost all the studies just kind of focus on the woman's choice and why the woman chooses the man, but not necessarily what men are doing to improve their chances of being chosen, if that makes sense. Also, something new that's being studied, just because I'm a nerd, is how your brain literally reacts to those feelings, like butterflies and that initial attraction. So how it works in our brain hasn't really been studied yet. So, but it is. So more info on that coming one day.
I will always forever stand by my statement. Butterflies is that feeling of common sense leaving your fucking body.
Butterflies are dangerous.
100.
Butterflies are
100%.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's why
Yeah.
I'm single.
That is why I'm single.
I love those butterflies.
I'm single because women don't know how to really make a relationship work.
Are you putting in that
another bad
effort?
week?
No,
Honestly, I feel like Roger puts in effort. Like, I've never met you in person, but I feel like you want a relationship. You're looking for a relationship. You're putting in the effort to get there. That's, I mean, I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
I know Crystal wasn't here about my story 2 weeks ago, but
Yeah.
you know, that was weird. So Crystal, what happened
Yeah.
was I met this girl and we kicked it off. Everything was great. We hung out all week. And, you know, it's like, hey, I thought maybe, you know, there could be something here. And she's like, yeah, we're definitely on the right track. And the next day she goes, I don't think it's going to work between us. And I'm like, what happened the night before? You know, it's like, what happened from the night before until today? Now
Your
you're like,
ex-boyfriend text.
That was okay.
We
That's
didn't
your
even
thought.
think about that.
I didn't either.
We
I
didn't
the
even
first
touch on that.
Yeah, I did not even think about that.
You're
The first thing
welcome.
I said was Roger moving too fast probably scared her. That's probably me just
That could be
speaking
it
from
too.
my
I mean,
self experience.
Which
lot
isn't
of
it funny
people-
because, like, wasn't it like a few weeks before that somebody, like, woman had said that she like loved Roger, so like it was too fast
Right.
for him. So then what was it?
Right.
And then just like a couple weeks later, now you're too fast for somebody.
Right.
See, with the whole too fast thing though, like there's a very fine line and a lot of people don't know how to walk it. Like I love like my alone time and my independence, but at the same time I'm like, hey, give me attention. Like
Right.
give me attention right now.
Right.
Like why aren't you thinking about me?
mhm.
You know,
Would you still love me if I was a worm?
Yes.
it's me,
Yes.
girl.
But Crystal, with her though, it was like, you know, it was a Saturday night last time we hung out. She, you know, everything was great, and we talked about a relation, you know, about dating and being a little more exclusive. And she's like, "Yeah, we're definitely on the right track." And then, the next morning, we parted ways, and she's like, "I'll see you. We'll do this again." And then I'm like, "All right, I mean, we had a great week." And then all of a sudden that evening, she was like, to be honest with you, and no. She said, remember okay, so she said, and I didn't tell you this, Crystal, but she said that she didn't feel compatibility with us. And I said, well, if that's the case, she goes, why did you hang out with me still last night? She goes, I wanted, I could have gone both ways. I could have enjoyed having fun with you, or we both could have been miserable. I said, I would have rather you be honest with me and end it there than to have this fake fun that, misleading intentions. I was like, why did you tell me last night that you thought that we were moving into a positive direction together, and when in your mind we weren't?
Maybe she wasn't as sure on the exclusive part. I don't know. Not trying to
Right.
make
That's what I'm
excuses.
saying.
But at the same time, like I'm somebody who doesn't want to waste my time, but I'm also going to vet the person because like if somebody's trying to rush, it's like a big red flag to
Yes.
me. Like what are you trying to distract me from? Like
Right.
I don't know.
We've got all the time in the world. Why the rush? Why
But
not all the time in the
to
world.
play devil's advocate to that,
Yeah, it could.
we say we want somebody who knows what they want.
Right.
And if they know
Very
what they
true.
want, they're going for it. So do we
Very
look
true.
at that as moving too fast?
That's the
Right.
whole mystery of the
That's the
courtship.
conundrum.
Yeah, that's
That courtship area. So one of the things that I'll forward to you guys later too just kind of defines the various areas of a relationship that we've coupled in our boyfriend, girlfriend, and in our honeymoon stage is actually stage 2. The awkward get to know you stage, that's the actual courtship stage. Like before you've decided that you're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend and, an item. And then obviously it goes on from there up to like marriage. But that it's that courtship area that's so different for everybody. And you really have to know like what that other person expects and what they want. And knowing if they want like an actual relationship to begin with is super important. But I think the next question after that would be like, well, you know, what are you looking for in a relationship? Like, so somebody might want to vet a little bit more carefully and take their time and say, you know, oh, like, for example, like I won't introduce my child until, you know, a certain time. And you can't have like a serious boyfriend girlfriend if, you know, that part isn't
Is not right.
Right. So there's lots of different things for everybody. And that's the other thing you have to know, like not what they're looking for, but like their expected timeline. Women get a lot of shit for like wanting to get married too fast and all that stuff. We catch a lot of
Oh,
stuff.
I had a girl that said that she loved me on the second date, and I said, "Oh, really?" And this last girl, not the girl from 2 weeks ago, the one that I have been, you know, getting to know for a couple months. Well, anyways, last week, she's like, "I could totally fall in love with you," and I'm like, "You don't know me. You haven't really gotten to know me enough to say that I could totally fall in love with you, because I think you're looking for more as a security blanket for yourself. I think people say I love you is more of a security thing than it is to be actually truly in love with somebody, because you can't be in love with somebody who you don't really know. And I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe in infatuation at first sight, but I don't believe in love, because love is a deeper concept and it goes further. And, you know,
Actually, a chemical reaction, that infatuation at first sight.
Right.
And it goes away. It goes away. So real love, like what you're saying and what you're getting at, I think is super important.
Mm-hmm.
But Meg, we had talked about this before. We said nobody falls in love faster than somebody who needs a place to stay. And
yes,
you know,
we said that.
Moving fast is a red flag, but I mean, just kind of having an idea of the timeline that the other person is looking at, or like their expectations. Like maybe they have a 3-month rule. Maybe they, you know,
I wasn't moving fast. All I said was, you know, I would really like to be able to exclusively date you. And, you know, after having a full week with her every day, hours of communication that whole week.
Wait, as soon as you started dating her, you were with her every single day for a week?
There's a couple days we just talked, but yeah, we pretty much would see each other between passing and work. Or, you know, we hung out Monday night together, Thursday we seen each other, then we hung out Friday night together, we hung out Saturday night together, and then Sunday, and that's when she stopped it. She ended it.
That's, I don't know. For me personally, that's a lot in a single week. I don't have that kind of
That's what I'm saying.
I don't even want to spend that much time with myself.
Boom.
So let's see, if we saw each other Monday. So we've seen each other Monday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday, we saw each other for like 5 minutes because she was on the way to work. I was on my way home. So we met up for a few. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we talked on the phone for hours each day. So, you know, it's not like, you know.
I think talking on the phone and texting, though, that's kind of expected. Like dating.
Right.
Yeah.
Just even if it's just a hey, thinking about you text, and that's as far as it goes, or a meme or two. Like, I think some sort of communication doesn't have to be super deep, but like something every day. That's normal for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would spend more than 3 days a week with somebody the first, or like 2 days a week the first week. That's a lot. That almost is like love bombing on their
not
part.
necessarily. I mean, if you got two people that are like totally into seeing each other and they're both wanting
I think it's
to.
infatuation.
Well, of course it is. But
it wears off.
But the chemistry, but like I said, but there's a chemistry there. Okay. And if you guys are both into each other, then, you know, I don't see a problem with two people wanting to spend time with each other if it's every day or every other day. If you guys are both wanting to do it. Now, if you're forcing somebody to come see you and they don't want to, but you're like, oh, come on, but I need to see you. That's a different story. But if two people are like, yeah, I want to see you. Me too. Me too. Then that's natural. That's naturally feeling that you want to be able to spend time with that person. So
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but that's, again, important to know, like, what the other person's looking at. Like me, I need to take things like a little bit slower personally. That's just me. Like, you know, if somebody were to want to spend every day with me, I'd be like, oh, why? Like, calm down. You know, like, put the brakes on. Like, I need to vet you out a little bit more before I give you that much more time.
I just feel like no matter, I may want to see that person every single day, but that may not mean I'm ready to jump straight into a committed thing.
I mean,
You know?
even if you are in a committed relationship, that doesn't mean that you have to see each other every single
Every
day.
day. Right.
You
no,
know,
that's true though. I know. But like I said, each situation's different. You know, it's like, you know,
and being honest about what you want is super important, because if you're not honest, like if you are just looking for a situationship and you're not very clear about that, you are literally robbing the other person of their freedom of choice.
Right.
Like, you know, you have to be honest about that kind of stuff, because that's not cool.
We're talking about the evolution of courtship from traditional dating to digital love. Any final thoughts, ladies? Lydia?
You know, when I think about the topic of like the evolution of courtship, I don't know why, but the first thing that comes to mind is today age, like meeting the parents is like super like, oh, you're serious about each other. But you look back in time and getting the parents' permission was like the first thing you needed to date somebody.
Yes.
So, you know, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw the topic, and that's all I can think of. And I just, you know, it's just crazy to see how far we've come, and like it's just done like a complete flip.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Crystal, final thoughts?
Well, while things have changed drastically over time, quicker in more recent years, I am glad that we're not in that Edwardian period where you always have to have a chaperone, and that courtship time, guys, is super important. So, you know, put some effort in, please.
Megan?
Just don't be a douchebag. That's all.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel, you know, the way I look at it is, you know, I mean, we are in a technological age right now, and that's, you know, how dating is. But just, you know, incorporate some traditional values, you know, bring it because, you know, I think if you have a balance in your relationship or getting to know somebody, you know, I think that's healthy and very important.
Right. Yeah.
All right, guys. I thank you all for watching tonight. We will be back next week with another episode and a surprise. And I'll leave it at that.
Great.
Yes.
You can't leave me hanging.
Yep.
You're going to be hung.
No,
You're gonna be hung.
we're gonna talk about this.
Okay.
You're gonna be hung.
All.
There was also a dirty joke to be made there, and we all missed it. But
All right, guys.
I got it.
Thank you for joining us here on Love on the Rocks. We'll see you guys all next week.
TTYL.